Work. What is work? What is work? What does it actually what is it really when you think about work? And when I mean work, I'm not talking about working a business for yourself, hustling, making your own coins. You're in control of what you make, what you don't make. I'm talking about 9 to 5 pushing the clock work. What is it really? Like, what is it for? Well, it's numerous things work is designed to do. Work is designed, number one, to make other people rich. You are the worker bees. They are the person that sit back, collected off of your hard-earned labor, and you get the crumbs, and they get the big spoils, and you get the crumbs. It's kind of like a big steak dinner. They get the steak, and then they give you the scraps after they finish eating the steak. That's why, uh, when you get your paycheck, they already have the pot, and they just take the little crumbs out the pot and then cut the little crumbs to everybody else. You know, that's the main thing that work is. It's for other people to get wealthy off of you. They don't have to get their hands dirty. That's what work is. And work is also number two, is control. It's control. It's designed to really to crush your spirit, bro. It's designed to keep you down. That's why all you end up being later on is a 65, 70-year old decrepit husk after the job world is done with you. But it's designed to rob you of your time so you can't figure out other stuff to do for yourself. Like, it's designed like that for you to be so tired by the time you get home that you can't figure out nothing else. Like, you a lot of people that work because they just have to work, that they really don't like working for people, they have the spirit. That's the entrepreneurial spirit in them, telling them that they're not supposed to be doing that. And what happens is they have a plan. They got to unlock it. But the problem is the job is suppressing them, because how can you sort out things for yourself if you so tired of doing like 8-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts? You be tired, you be drained. So by the time you get home, right, you gotta take a shower, make food. If you got kids, make food for them, and then get in the bed and you tired. And then you gotta get up and do it all over again. You see the trap? It's a trap. And then, you're supposed to be figuring out how to get wealthy for yourself. You so tired, you don't have the time to fucking sit and figure all of this stuff out. And then on the weekends, when you off, most people off on the weekends, right? And this is how you know when you don't want to be you don't want to work. Every Friday, Friday, you be like, oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait till Friday. Friday is here. And you can't wait for Friday and Saturday, right? Those the most lit days. You love Friday and Saturdays. But then, don't y'all feel weird when Sunday come? Every time, right? You feel weird when Sunday come, because Monday is right after Sunday. So you be like, oh damn. You be all depressed on Sundays, but Friday and Saturday you be hyped. Especially Friday, because Saturday is that day. You ain't gotta do nothing. You can lay around all day if you want to. Now let's say, hey man, you could take your Saturday and your Sunday, right? Let's say you take those days to try to focus on your craft or whatever your passion is, right? You can, but it's not enough time. Especially you factor in if you got kids and all of that. You just want to rest, really. You want to do what you want to do. And most of the time, most people just rest on their off days. And then guess what? Monday, slave master like, all right, get your ass back on the field, buddy. And then, right, you get your paycheck. Not to mention, some jobs, this is 2026, right? Why is it that jobs are still paying you every 2 weeks? You got some jobs that pay you every week. Why the hell are they still paying people every 2 weeks, man? That's like a double. I always thought that was like a double slap in the face. Because it's like, when you really think about it, right? My dude, I go to work 8 hours a day. Pay me every day. You really working for free until like them 2 weeks is up. When you really think about it, right? You working for free. I'm like, yo, why am I working for free? Why I don't have any money at the end of this 8-hour shift, man? It's designed like that to keep you like it's grueling. It's designed to be like, nah, man, in order for you to get this little carrot we dangling in front of you, your ass gonna stay on this plantation for 2 weeks first. And you're gonna do the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's a demonic system, but it's rather clever when you think about it. And you be like, damn, it's 2026, and why haven't they figured out ways to fix this shit? Now, when you think about it, right? Let's say you work 5 days a week and you make, let's say you make $25 an hour, right? And you working most of your week. The week is 7 days. That's how they broke it down, right? 7 days a week, right? You work 5 days. Some people even work 6 days. That's retarded. I ain't working 6 days for nobody. Y'all fucking crazy. I would never do that. I ain't working 6 days for nobody unless it's me putting in work for myself and my business. I'm not giving nobody 6 days of my precious time. It's not gonna happen. How come, right? Compounded and compress it to 2, right? Like, for instance, okay, well, you're making that 25 an hour. Why they can't just give you $90 an hour for 2 days of work? You ever thought about that? Like, have that same amount of money you would be making, compress it into 2 days. Just bring my pay up, right? Or whatever it is, right? Because they want you to be stressed out, broken down, beat down, so you can't do nothing else. And then you got our kids coming up, they just cranking out more work slaves. That's all it is. That's all it is, bro. Just cranking out more work slaves. That's why right now I try to teach my daughters. I be like teaching them how to be like entrepreneur. Yo, do this, make this, like create this so you can sell this. I be teaching them all of that. You know what I mean? And they getting hip to it too. They getting real hip to it. It's amazing, man. Like I tell people this all the time. I say, yo, why do you go to work? I ask them this. And what's the first thing? This is how programmed everybody is. What's the first thing people say when you say, why you got to go to work? Why you going to work? Drop comments. And I already know what y'all gonna say. Y'all know what everybody say. The first thing that come out of everybody's mouth. Go, drop comments and then tell me if I'm right. I'm gonna see if I'm right. I'm gonna count to like 20 seconds and then I'm gonna just say it. Yeah. When you ask somebody, yo, why'd you go to work? I gotta pay bills. That's the answer right there. I go to work so I can pay bills. They don't say I go to work so I can feed my kids. They don't say I go to work so I can feed myself. They don't say I go to work so I can enjoy my life. They say I go to work so I can pay bills. They got everybody fucked up. You see? They say I go to work to pay bills. So you going to work and you breaking your body down every fucking day to give the government, they snatching your money before you get it, number one. You're giving it to them, and then you're giving it to utility companies, and if you got a mortgage, you're giving it to them, and then you got the greedy ass rental companies from these busted up ass apartments that ain't even worth what they charging. These little boxes, that's what they are. You paying $3,000, $2,500 to stay in a fucking box like a little rat. A box. You ever thought about how little these apartments be like 900 square feet? They charging you $2,000. Like, dude, what? I can turn around in a little fucking corner somewhere. You know why all this is happening? Because the people allow it to happen. The more people don't do nothing about all of this, the harder they gonna keep twisting the chain around your neck. That's what happens when you don't put your foot down on motherfuckers from the get-go. They take advantage of you. And that's what government doing, and that's what these companies is doing. They charge all these crazy rent. You notice you get into these apartments, right? That's why I'm glad I don't live in apartments no more. You get into these apartments, right? It's never enough to just pay your rent. Now it's all this other silly shit. Now they making you pay pet rent. They making you pay this stupid. You're like, bro, so what's the deposit for if you still gonna make me pay a pet rent? Like, what's the point? They just squeezing you, and then they get mad when you can't cover the rent. You're like, bro, you charging me all this rent, and then you expect me to pay it, but then you expect me to pay all this other shit, and then I gotta pay this other shit, and then if I get back up on my rent, then you mad. Shit is crazy, right? It's a fucked up game, and the people allow it. That's why. The minute people turned up on these motherfuckers and just moved out, I bet you all this shit has stopped. But see, people don't realize their worth and their value. Nobody realizes the power they hold as a unit. They need us more than we need them, bro. Jobs, utility companies, all of them. They need us more than we need them. Now, you see how everybody's electric bills shooting up, especially because of these data centers going up everywhere, these disgusting big giant boxes. I can't stand data centers, right? Your bills going up, right? And they don't give a fuck. But here's the thing. How could that change? It's going to take people. People got to say, all right, check this out. Bad enough, we don't have ways to... Well, there's ways, but see, most people don't know how to do it, or they're too lazy to figure it out. There's ways where, if you own a home, you don't have to have an electric bill. There's ways to power your house without a fucking meter on the side of your house, but most people don't want to do that. They either too scared or they just don't know how to do it. They don't want to get no knowledge of self to figure out how to do it. And they still complain about shit, but they don't want to figure out how ways to fix it. You can't complain about an electric bill, but then you ain't trying to find ways to get out of it. Shut your mouth and just deal with it and keep getting fucked in the ass. That's all. But they had a brain freeze. Overload. If everybody in the town say, yo, look, we gonna stop paying our electric bill, like thousands of people all together, we not gonna pay it no more. And then the electric company said, well, we're gonna shut your power off. Okay, guess what? You shut off the power, who's really hurting? You and me. Y'all are the business. Y'all need us to function. We don't need y'all to stay warm. There was people staying warm way before electric companies existed. We don't need you to stay warm. We don't need you to stay cool. But you need us to make that almighty dollar, right? So here's what we are going to tell you that you're going to do. We demand two things. Our bills going to all be the same rate, $100 every 2 months. That's our bill. Well, you can't demand that because, how about this? How about $0 every month? You want that, or you gonna take this $100? Which one you want to do, baby? $0 or $100? Which one? We'll take the 100. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Now shut up and do what we tell you to do. And then the next time y'all get slick, we gonna do this shit all over again. We gonna shut this shit down again. That's how you change shit. That's how you change shit. I hear people say all the time about the government, yo, man, if you start paying taxes, they're going to throw you in jail, which is a lie. That's a lie. I can tell you that right now. That is a blatant lie. If you do tax evasion, like tax fraud, then you can go to jail. If you don't pay your taxes, you can't go to jail. But they're not gonna tell you. They're gonna have you scared to believe that, and it's not true. Tell me how I know. Anyway, right? As far as them, everybody's like in a unit. Millions of people just stop paying. What they gonna do? See, you don't gotta get violent, right? You don't gotta get violent first. Just stop paying it as a unit, right? Millions of people. If they start trying to change laws and say, oh, we're gonna come arrest everybody, that's when you gotta pick up your arms. That's when you pick up arms. When they let them move on you first, then you show the world the error of their ways. That's how you do it, man. You know what I mean? All of that, attacking people. Let them attack you, and then you go on the offensive and then handle business. That's how it's supposed to work, man. There's too many people out here for this shit to be the way it is, bro. It's way too many fucking people here to let a little group of motherfuckers run over everybody. I'll never understand that shit, bro. Like, out here, they be having these meetings and shit, right? These little tax meetings and all this other goofy shit they be having, right? And I'm just like, okay, cool, no problem. Tax meetings, yay, nice. But they in there saying the wrong stuff. They not in there saying, they're in there trying to negotiate with them to lower your taxes. No. You supposed to be in there saying, bro, we ain't paying this shit no more. That's it. What y'all gonna do? You're gonna take all our houses together? That's what I'm telling y'all. Everybody gotta look out for each other. Gotta have unity and protect each other. They can't take everybody's house from them. What you gonna do? You gonna come take everybody's house, strong arm everybody's house away from them? That's how you get shot. But see, that's the thing. Ain't nobody got it in them no more, man. Ain't nobody got it in them, bro. Sometimes I wonder, my ancestors, and how rugged they were, and how much nonsense they was not taking from motherfuckers, and even other folks. The white people. I know they ancestors. A lot of them was on some other shit. But I'm talking about as far as like when it came time to challenge their governments and stuff, they was really with that shit. Now, what the hell happened, man? Everybody just got watered down over the years. It's crazy. And then when you say all of this stuff, everybody look at you like a kook or you crazy. No. It's just they don't like when you smart and you. Man, listen, y'all. Before I close this, I figured this out. I'm 45 years old. I figured all of this shit out when I was like a teenager. When I was in elementary school, my fucking teacher called my mom. Because you know how like in school back in them days, we had textbooks and all of that. They were teaching us about Christopher Columbus, right? And I've been reading since I was 3 years old. I've been reading encyclopedias and diction, all of that from my grandmothers. They taught me how to read really young. I've been knew about Christopher Columbus in fucking kindergarten, man. And then when I got to the second grade and they teaching us about Columbus, so-called teaching us, I was like, how come he killed the Pilgrims? And they don't say nothing about that in the book. And then when I said that, because I raised my hand in the class and then everybody got quiet. She was like, that's not true. Lying. See what I'm saying? Lying. Lying to me. Lying to the kids. I think at that young age, that's when I realized school was bullshit. That's when I realized all this shit is propaganda, man. And that's why I laugh at Americans when they always point a finger at other people and they propaganda. You talking about North Korea. You talking about other countries, Iran. What about the propaganda over here? Ain't nobody talking about that. It's propaganda in every country. So we got to stop pretending like the propaganda is everywhere else but over here. That's bullshit. Because right there, I just told y'all that happened to me. I was 7 years old. And she called my mom saying I had a class outburst, bro. Can you believe that shit? Because I knew the truth. At that age, she was trying to indoctrinate me. But she was going to get away with that with the other kids, but she couldn't do that shit with me. Nobody could do that. You know what I mean? So when I keep telling everybody, you working for monopoly money because it's a tool of control. That's all it is. Because when you really think about money, we don't really need that shit. Think about it. Like we really don't need them. We don't really need money, man. Like you can grow your own food if you know how. You get the know how. You can get your own chickens. Everybody could barter amongst themselves for stuff, help each other build stuff. You don't need their money, but they set it up to where you need the money. You see what I mean? They set it up like that, and when people say, "Damn, man, um, they take my they saying I owe them this money," when you really think about it, you really do, because it ain't your money. Your name ain't on that shit. That's their money. They print that shit. So when you think about it, that's how they get you. That's their money. They print it and they letting you use it. It's a joke, bro. It's a game, bro. It's a big fucking scheme. You know what I mean? And a lot of people waking up to it. A lot of people are now starting to try to break away from it. It's very hard. It's not easy to break away from the system because the way they got it. For instance, real quick, right? The rents is so high. They're not doing nothing. Now this is how fucked up these governments are. The rents is always going up, right? People's income hardly go up. The rents is always rising. These banks is these crazy mortgages, right? So people saying, well, damn, I can't afford it. I'm going to live in my car. Now they're trying to make it legal for you to live in your car. You be like, hold on. So y'all not doing nothing about the rents, but y'all going to do something about people living in their cars, though. Like, bro, I swear, if I ever came to the point where I said, yo, you know what? I'm going to go live in a van. I'm going to buy me a van. And if a cop ever came up to my car and said, you know what I tell that cop? I'd be like, my God, check this out. You care so much about me living on the streets in my van, you're more than welcome to buy me a house, bro. Or let me come live with you. I'm curious to see how he react to that. If not, shut up and get the fuck away from me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all making everything harder and harder on everybody. Then when people snap, they want to call people crazy and shit. No, y'all causing all of these unnecessary pressures on the people. And then now, eventually, people gonna start putting the pressure on them. That's just how it have to be. It gotta be equal pressure, man. You ain't gonna keep putting pressure on us. We gonna press you back. It's gonna have to be that way. Eventually, that's what's gonna have to happen, bro. It's gonna have to be that way, bro. You know, and I'm glad that a lot of people starting to wake up. They starting to figure out the system and how much bullshit it is, and they don't give a damn about everybody. And this is why I was saying, right, why I don't vote, because it's pointless. Voting is pointless. I told my kids to never vote. I'm like, don't vote, because number one, that's like you voting for somebody to lead you. You're supposed to lead yourself. Why are you voting for another man to lead you? You're supposed to lead yourself. You don't need a leader, bro. See what I'm saying? So, and then when you get these people in office, all they do is play hot potato with your rights. That's it. They one side, when they in power, they doing fucked up shit, and then when the other side get in, they throw the potato to them. They just playing with everybody, man. They playing games with everybody's life. That's all they doing. They just playing. Salute, Dan. Salute. They playing games with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I don't vote. I ain't all of them. You see it was happening now, right? Trump is in office. You got Kamala Harris talking about how foul the wars is, and he's doing this and that. Like, yo, you would have did the same thing if he was in office. If you was in office, because you was on Israel dick too. So you would have did the same thing he's doing. It probably would have looked a little different. She would have did the same thing he doing, because that's all they do is pledge of allegiance to Israel. That's all they do. When have you heard them ever say they pledge to Americans? They never say that. Both sides. Both sides Go over there and touch that wall every time, bro. All of them. I say this to everybody. When the right get their president in, I always say, yo, what is the president doing in your life? What is he doing to make your life better? Has he personally helped you? No. So fuck you voting for? And then when Obama was in office and Biden, yo, what did Biden do for you? It was better than Trump being in office. You fucking morons, bro. Dumb shit. I be saying that about the left too. Left always talking about the wars Trump started, which is right. But Obama was bombing motherfucking Libya, and then I ain't never heard nobody in left say nothing about that when he was bombing Libya, killed Muammar Gaddafi. He did the same exact thing Trump doing in fucking Iran right now. This is why I'm telling y'all, it's a joke, bro. It's a fucking smoke screen. All of them motherfuckers is the same. They just got slightly different belief systems. Same shit. Same shit. And as long as people been voting, I ain't never seen none of them motherfuckers change anybody's life, bro. Never. Ever. And that's why I don't understand why people keep voting. Because I'm like, at the end of their presidency, how did your life improve, bro? What, you saved a couple of dollars at the gas pump? Oh, whoop-de-doo. That's what you voted for, to save a couple of dollars at the gas pump? Come on, man. Y'all gotta get out that slumber, bro. Y'all gotta chill with that shit. I'm talking about both sides. Right, left. I don't want to hear nothing about how bad the other side is. I don't want to hear none of that. You can't shoot that shit with me, bro. Because I don't buy into that. It's bullshit. They both devils. And you know the crazy thing? Both parties are now the flip of what each other used to be. Democrats was the one that was known as the racist party, right? And now the Republicans is now known as the racist party. And now what the Republicans was, the Democrats are now. It shit is retarded, bro. Unbelievable, man. Y'all, please stop falling for this bullshit, bro. Make babies, yeah. Mm-hmm. And salute. Get up off this. Y'all been good. I just hope y'all take my words of wisdom. I'll probably come back and drop some more lives because, man, things is going to probably get worse. You ever come outside and everything just feel awkward? Everything just feel off. Like, everything just feels so fucking weird, man. Like, I'm like we in another dimension. Like, I don't feel the same no more. I be trying to vibrate high. I go home and meditate and I feel better. Every time I come outside, like I feel these weird ass energies around me and stuff. So I try to stay away from all of that stuff, man. So I'm off this, man. Y'all stay safe. Have a good Friday and I'll catch y'all later.